All right, guys, today we got Jarmaine. He came all the way from New Jersey. His brother's a barber. His wife cuts his hair, right? And she got the whole setup at the shop.
Yep. We like the 245 products, too.
Let's go. So what you getting done today, man?
Since my wife is the expert, I wrote it down so I can get it done.
Okay.
I'm going to get a mid-ball drop fades, and I just want to line the beard up.
Okay, and then the top, are you leaving it alone?
You know what? My wife wants me to trim. Do you want me to trim?
Trim it some? Okay. All right, we're gonna shape the top to keep the natural coils and all that good stuff, but we're gonna do a mid-drop fade, and then the beard length, you said keep the beard length?
You know, if you can take it down a little bit.
Okay, we'll trim it, we'll make it look nice.
Extra off.
All right, cool. Let's do it. All right, here we go, guys.
So how long have you been cutting hair?
For me, I'm at like 12 years now, man.
Oh, wow.
12 years, yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching the video you posted 3 weeks ago, and you were talking about, barbers don't figure this out their entire career.
Yeah.
My brother sent me that video. No, it's you said some interesting things. I do studying as well, and then I was people who are successful and read stuff. And one of the things you said in the video was that you had to go to where the business was. Smaller
I had to follow where the market was, the economy, right?
Correct.
If you play in a small economy and you get a small piece of that small economy, you're still gonna get small.
Correct.
You get a small piece of a big economy, you're gonna get a nice slice, right?
Yeah. So it's interesting. There's this fish called a Japanese Aranda fish, and it's the size of a goldfish.
Okay.
So if you put it in a goldfish, it'll grow no bigger than the size of like a goldfish.
Yeah.
But if you actually put it in a pool or a lake, it'll actually grow that big.
That's crazy.
So it literally grows according to the size of the environment.
I like that analogy. Yeah. That's a great analogy.
It's a real live fish too. That does that. Yeah.
Okay. What's the name of it?
A Japanese Aranda fish.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. We're gonna start with the sides. Clip the hair away. Guys, I'm sorry it's loud in here, but that's a barbershop, man. We real barbers.
So what made you realize, like, hey, barbering is the thing I like doing?
You know, for me, I was cutting my own hair too. Very similar to your wife, right? She started cutting your hair and she realized she likes it. I was in college and I was trying to figure out my life, realized that I could keep going to school. I was playing basketball at the same time, but I wasn't going to the NBA, nothing like that. So, you know, I just decided to pivot and take a shot at barbering. I knew, you know, if you're an entrepreneur, you can make money in any industry. I don't care if you're a janitor.
Yep. Right? So have you been cutting hair in Florida your entire life?
Yeah, my whole life, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So they was all blaming it on everybody up north, coming over here jacking up the prices.
Yeah, you know, something similar kind of happened in Jersey, a little higher paid up in New York, so kind of same thing started happening.
Yeah.
And then
makes sense. All right, guys, we got our initial guideline in, and then we're gonna go ahead and start our next guideline and fade out that guideline. All right, gonna use the instincts today. Okay, so blade open. He wants a mid fade, so I'm not gonna make this guideline too high. Made like a 1/2 inch, and we're gonna fade it out once we create this panel, this section. We're gonna go ahead and fade it out while we're here. That way we don't get lost in the fade later. I'm gonna do this all the way around. I'll tell you what, she got this thing really nicely parted, the section.
Okay.
Some people come in, their section here is like, you know, all kinds of different directions, but it's a nice clean line. She did good there.
Oh, she'll be happy to hear that.
We got this panel done. We will start fading it out now while we're here, okay? And you can fade up or you can fade down, whatever your preference is. I'm gonna go ahead and fade up. Okay, so back to closed, 1 notch open, halfway, open it up a bit more. You can see the hairs are going sideways, so we gotta make sure that we're pivoting our clipper to make sure we're going against the grain. All right, closed, open it up some, open it up some. You guys can see that's all it takes to fade out that panel, okay? We're doing this all the way around. I don't even know, man, I was, both that stuff from Kentucky or not? That's super cool. She like when you put it on TikTok. Next step, we're gonna do 1 open. You gotta be careful not to bring this up too high because this is what's gonna make it look darker by not going up too high here. And I'm gonna switch to my comb because the brush isn't really controlling the hair. The hair is getting pushed up from the clipper and the brush ain't bringing the hair back down. So we're switching to the comb. Okay, we're gonna do this all the way around. But I'm sure you guys are like over there. But the next week it'll be 40s, 50s. So this section is created. Remember we did the 1 open. We're gonna go 1 closed right underneath that. We're gonna do this fairly quickly because the half guard is what's really gonna blend this all together. But you wanna make sure you're combing the hair so that it's going down and you're going against the grain. But the hair is going down, and then when you're going up with the clipper, it feeds nicely into the blade. All right, guys, that's about a 1 now, all the way through. We'll swap now to that half guard. All right, I'm probably gonna do half guard, working this section, and just make sure that's actually gonna fade it out. And now I'm all the way closed. That worked out pretty well. Guys, see that? So we're gonna do the same thing all the way through here. Half guard. All right, now we're all the way closed. It don't gotta be perfect because when we come in detail, we're gonna fade down to really make everything come together. Okay, halfway open. Close it some. When you get to the hairline, guys, you gotta be careful not to make it too light because we wanna get a nice, strong, sharp line. So we wanna try to keep that dark. So you might have to compress the fade a little bit as you get closer to the hairline. And if there's a little bit of a subtle line there, take your half guard off and go up. Because essentially what you're doing is the section that was here and the section that was here, you're kind of bleeding it into each other. And that's a blend, right? That's how you blend two sections together. It's got to overlap in some way, shape, or form. No, who's the big guy? All right, I'm all the way closed now, guys. I'm gonna do a 1 with the grain at this separation right here. That'll keep it dark enough to where that blend will really come out nice. So 1 with the grain.
Next week is gonna be slow.
Sure, some people didn't get their haircut for Christmas, so they're waiting for New Year's. All right, guys, so now we're using the 1.5 guard, and this should really spread this part of the blend out, and then we'll fade down to complete the fade. Once we fade down, you guys will see it'll come to life. All right, so I'm gonna stick to one side, guys, just so I can make it look nice, and then we'll move on to the next side. So we're fading down. Now we're going to our half guard. I'm gonna stick to open here. You guys can see his hair is growing this way. So we gotta make sure we're pivoting our clipper to feed into this hair and get a nice, smooth cut. Okay, closing it up some now. All right, now we're gonna close it some more. When you're fading down, you gotta make sure if you feel like you might be going too high, just open it up and use the corners. Test the waters first before you go up, because you can completely ruin the fade if you go too high. All right, guys, we are now at the blade all the way open and closing it little by little. I'm just looking for dark areas. And yes, every time I talk, everybody wants to start spraying their air hoses. So in this area, I definitely need to put in some work.
Chill out, don't let me come up in. Let's talk about this Amazon.
The car share ride,
it's like five track. That mid ocean made me look at Drake a little different. I was
So did you guys all just start together, or? Wow.
We just opened another location a week ago. That one's going really well already. So. All right, so a little bit of a line in here, guys, if y'all can see it. I'm gonna try to do a little refining here with my clipper and comb. Let's comb out his beard.
So funny because when my wife is cutting my hair, she always says the same thing, like,
Oh,
"They're
yeah.
lines."
Yeah, you see it, especially after you stop fading and then angle, like, damn, there's still a line there. He was a barber for like royalty, high priests, all that in ancient Egypt.
Yep.
A lot, yeah. So a lot of people don't know that you can actually create a profession and make a nice income, a nice living for you and your family.
So do you ever like collaborate with barbers on YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah, I need to get back on my YouTube grind. I've just been so busy this year with all kinds of other stuff, especially with business. When I do go on YouTube, I try to show love to other channels and.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, now I got a rough draft of his hairline. Clean up just a little bit more. Probably do some spritz again. To me, I don't think you can line up somebody just with one shot.
You can take it down a little bit more.
Okay, I will.
Oh, you do that at the end.
Yeah. Just because sometimes when you take it down, there's some areas in your beard that aren't as full, and it might mess with the actual line of the beard.
Okay.
I like to focus like in the bulky areas first, and then make my way towards the line.
Okay.
That way I can preserve the line just in case. Oh yeah, I can see where it's like right in here.
Yep.
So see like that, I like to see first and comb it. So I'm gonna stay away from this area here, guys.
Okay.
So now that I know this area is a little bit light, guys, what I'm gonna do is debulk this with a 3 and then go down. So I ain't cutting nothing. We'll go down to a 2. Let's cut nonsense in here. I'm gonna go a little bit shorter. We can line it up, and then after the lineup, we can trim it down some more if you want. Sometimes the lineup does make it look a little bit longer.
Okay.
So we trimmed the mustache down. We're gonna recline him again. We're gonna start doing all the razor work. All right, we're gonna use shave gel, guys, just to make sure his skin is protected, just at the line. Switch to the Astro razor. Got that line pop now. I'm concentrating, guys, on the line here. These are overlapping hairs from his actual line. And get rid of that.
Oh, bro, what's wrong?
Yeah, sometimes it starts to dry up, the gel. I just reapply a little bit more. So let's take a look at it. I'm gonna put some medium tension and kind of pull at the hair.
Okay.
Let the coils kind of bounce. Every coil got a life of its own. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I hear you.
you almost just want to identify each of the coils, and then afterwards we'll add some moisture and we'll just make sure that it's living the way we're cutting it. My wife, she's a curly hair expert. She only does natural hair.
Oh, cool. So does she have any product recommendations that she would
She probably can give you some recommendations.
Does she have a YouTube or a website?
She doesn't. I wish.
Oh, okay.
I keep telling her, man, because there's not enough people that kind of focus on that niche, you know?
No, curling is a big thing.
You know, and there's so many people with curly hair. A lot of people don't wear their natural curly hair because they don't know how to maintain
Correct.
it. It's so much easier to just straighten it, right?
Correct.
But them chemicals, man, they destroy your hair too.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so I'm gonna put the camera at this angle. You guys can see already this side, the shape is starting to look more balanced. Now, once we wet it, we'll be able to get a better idea. Put some more moisturizer in it, we'll get a better idea, but that's essentially what we're going for. We're trying to get a nice balance here. All right, guys, it's looking pretty good. We're gonna add some moisture now.
No, I would love to learn more about that.
I keep telling her, man, she just doesn't want to. She doesn't want to do it.
No, she's got to do it.
You gotta do it, man, I know. All right, guys, when you're cutting the coils too, you don't want to pull too much because you start to create frizz. You want to do a small amount of tension. Small amount of tension. Again, just medium tension. You don't need to pull the hair all the way out.
Man, it's looking so interesting. I'm paying attention to the approach you took too, because most people do that. You just start pulling them up and cutting without.
Yeah. Man, when I didn't know better, I would blow dry your hair and picked it out and free-handed it, and then all of a sudden, when you put moisture in it, it looks all uneven.
Correct.
That's not how you're supposed to do it.
Have you ever booked an appointment with me before?
Pretty good. Let's clean up his eyebrows. All right, you guys, let's show the actual fade.